This Out News. We connect the streets. Connect the streets. Connect the streets. Connect the streets. Connect the streets.
Bishop, how you doing, champ?
It's all green for the money and gold for the honey. It ain't changed none with me in the last 60 years. You did. Once I picked up them colors, I was stuck like crazy glue, Jack.
There it is, man. We appreciate you joining us here at Check This Out News. We report on the humanizing of technology into everyday life, and certainly technology has impacted every aspect of life, from government to the church, education to entertainment, and the internet has revolutionized all sorts of industries over the last 20 years. So its effect on the world of pimping, I know it ain't easy, especially in the internet age. And with the use of all of that, we have the world famous Bishop Don Magic Juan with us to discuss tech's impact on pimping and everything else. So Bishop, thank you, man.
Oh, no problem, Jack, you dig. As a matter of fact, we're working on some technology now, you dig? Because back in my days, you dig, we didn't have all that, you know what I mean? These answering service, if you missed the call, you didn't get it. And if somebody called and you wasn't home, you didn't get it. You dig? So, you know what I mean? Technology is taking it to another level. But I said it helped and hurt at the same time. You have to distinguish where you can benefit from it and, you know, and get away from where it take away from you at.
Absolutely. Now, you know, with that being said, Bishop, an increasing number of tech-savvy escorts have seemingly bypassed their pimps and taken to the web. How has this impacted the street gang?
Well, one thing about it is the street gang gonna always be the street gang. I don't care what you create, they gonna kick mud up no matter what. Because it ain't no thing when you can't get a computer, you can always go outside and walk to the store and catch a date, you know what I mean? Either way, the street gonna still exist. But, you know, as the computer thing, you know what I mean? You have an opportunity to have such a wide range, you know what I mean? Instead of me trying to talk to one person, you know, I have an opportunity to talk to 1,000 at a time, and figuring by me posting something exotic, at least out of 1,000, I'm hoping even 25 call back. You dig? So that's a plus.
Real time. Now, thanks to the web, I know social media and mobile apps, escorts have seen not only a surge of interest in their field, but a perceived lower risk of arrest. Do you think that's accurate?
I mean, explain yourself clearly, because I said in this field it helped and hurt. I mean, distinguish what you mean about how it helped or hurt me or the gang.
Well, no, I'm just asking whether or not through the web and social media and these mobile apps, these escorts, you know what I'm saying, they minimize their risk of being arrested because of the digital side of it. You know what I mean? Not having to walk the streets per se, the way it may have been done traditionally.
Well, I would like to say at one time that was surely a thought, and it was the way it was. But until all of this, you know, Craigslist killing and different things happen on these different sites, it's being more scrutinized now. And even like Craigslist, you know, the adult site was taken down, you know, even though, you know, people find ways to go into other sites to make it known that they still offer some service. But, you know, that has been affected because of that. So because of that, people have to be a little bit more cautious about what they say on that site, how they post themselves, and, you know, the guests that, you know, that they are trying to date. So it's a two-way street, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Do you think that the term pimping and everything else has morphed, and it seems like there's a lot stronger laws, you know what I'm saying, so to speak? How would you say someone who's in that field can make their money in a digital age? Do you think that's even possible?
Well, it's no question about it being possible, because it's happening right now. It's definitely, you know what I mean, macking going on in the digital world, you know what I mean? These females, they are aware of how to work these computers, and they know how to set up these sites, and they know how to entice the different individuals that they targeting in order that these people might crowd their site to make these opportunities. Surely that is a plus, you know, when you get a chance to lay your resume out in the news, you know what I mean? it's definitely going to draw to your site. But like I said, it helping her because it also draw law enforcement also. But then, like I said, it all helping her because you don't know who you dating. You could be dating a maniac, and you know, by these people talking this site, it might help you also. You know what I mean? So you know, you just have to distinguish, and it has to be trust, and you have to be on your P's and Q's no matter what, whether it's in the street or it's in the hotel or for a computer date. You still have to be on your P's and Q's.
Absolutely. Now, I know I got some stats from law enforcement records that show arrests for prostitution in the U.S. dropped by nearly 50% from 1990 to 2015, falling from 111,400 people to 57,345. Now, in your opinion, is the web, social media, mobile apps, does that make it safer? Because I know you mentioned you could be dating a maniac, obviously, but is it a safer way for escorts than, say, on the street?
Well, I could say one thing about them statistics before I said about how that website, you know what I mean, because whether it's safer, I mean, it's safer in one way because, you know what I mean, whenever, whatever happened, whatever y'all said is in that computer, and somebody can always go back and retract and see what was said, you know. And as for them statistics, I don't know if that's all to the digital world, you know what I mean? A lot of people on drugs, a lot of people on alcohol, a lot of people change their life, a lot of people getting older. There's a lot of different things that make that statistic low like it is, not just because of the digital world. Surely the digital world opened up some doors to some individuals, but believe me, we all ain't computer literate and they can't go to the computer. So it ain't all to the digital world. It's just some people choose to do some other things on the down low.
Understood. Now, in your opinion, is there a difference between a high-end sex worker versus an escort?
Oh, definitely different. If you put more in, you got to get more out. If I'm going through all of that and doing all of that on the computer, I mean, laying out photos and, you know what I mean, and getting all the typographical errors out of there and doing it, definitely has got to be a feed on that in itself, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, you're really putting in some clerical work here when you do that kind of stuff. Less, you know, opposed to a female just walking out the door and flagging a date, you know what I mean? It's less more complicated. The violence still going to exist anyway. It depends on the individual, whether it's in the street or in the hotel or over the computer or whatever it is. It depends on the mindset of the individual, how it turned out.
Understood. Now, I know with this whole digital age, a lot of folks talk about catfishing and everything else, and maybe not getting exactly what you thought you were going to get, so to speak. So do you think there's a difference between an online sex worker versus one who works the track or in the street?
Oh, yeah, it definitely is. One thing about it is, got to give credit where credit is due. Less people don't understand that those that work in them streets, they got a whole lot more knowledge and understanding about the game than those that work out of the internet. They ain't got understanding to the game. You know, they computerized. Those that worked in the street that went and hit that concrete, they had to figure it out for themselves. And that makes them more knowledgeable to the game, have more understanding about the game because they had more on-hand experience. That's why I said when we generate and have these player ball like the one we got December the 2nd in Chicago, where all the pimps and players come out so they can get an understanding about the knowledge and how the gang exists and where the pimping is going on to the day to let others know that pimping ain't dead. It just the hoes ain't scared. It just guys ain't leading the day because a lot of them is caught up on a lot of different things. We got the player ball coming. It's www.eventbrite.com. It's in Chicago this year. We're taking it back home.
Got you. Now, I know police in general have been less inclined, say, to go after web-based escorts since the cost of those operations are a lot higher than a street roundup. How does this impact the pimp?
Where it impacts his pocket when she goes and take that money and make that date. Because, you know, when they used to charge 10 a crack, they're going for 1,000 a crack in the hotel room. So that's profit right there to the pimp's pocket. Sock it to my pocket, baby. That's what a pimp said. You dig?
Absolutely. Now, Bishop, if you could make your own mobile app what would it do?
If I could make my own app, my app would be to HIP. And it'll be Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. To let the people know they can hit that button and get their question answered in less than 3 minutes. I mean, a serious question and be able to answer it seriously. See, that's what I'm all about, helping. So I need to have a site that help, you know. And I always know that people need a word. So to be able to get a serious word from the bishop, hey, man, next thing like hearing from Jesus, because I'm delivering the word that Jesus gave me.
Now, I know you mentioned a couple of the social media sites. Now, Facebook has been slammed with being a hub for fake news, as well playing a role in the presidential election that got Trump into office. What's your thoughts on how society and social media have become so intertwined?
Well, one thing about it is, you know, every kind of site, you know, man, even if it's a manufacturing company, when the governor put pressure on you, they put pressure on you. You know, when they want to know something, they gonna put pressure on you to make sure that you tell them what they know. So all of that free speech and all of these different things, hey, that don't mean nothing. Because when they want you to tell it, they're gonna tell it. Just like Facebook, he might have didn't want to do, but he got to do it. He's pressured to do it. Then people could put a lot of pressure on him to do that. You know, so like I said, it ain't no freedom of speech. And like now, they're watching social media so much more than ever. But they keep saying they catching some, but they ain't truly catching it, because if it was, a lot of these different terrorist events wouldn't be taking place. But then they know that they using digital social media, you know what I mean, in order to get the word, just like they said about the election. Russia had a big input on influencing our election, that Trump might win. I believe that.
A year ago, the CEO of Backpage, obviously a classified website that allows users to post escort ads, was arrested on Thursday on felony pimping charges. Now, website owners with pictures of hot girls has now ushered in a transformation in the pimp game. I mean, would you agree with that?
No, I don't agree with that. That was definitely entrapment, and just because of certain things that had happened, and the federal government, you know what I mean, local and officials, you know, they wanted it down. So when they, like I just told you a minute ago, when they want things to be their way, they find ways, you know what I mean, to entrap you, to force you to shut it down, you know, and that's how, just like what we're going through right now about the amendments right, you know what I mean, my protesting right, where Trump is telling the NFL owners now to force, you know, your teammates not to do the right thing, and that is wrong. So I'm saying, when it's the power that be, you know what I mean, it's their way or no way. Either through what you think. Our president, he don't just deliver messages to us through TV, media, newspaper. This man all up with the tweet game, the digital game. So he as one, know that this digital thing is powerful. But like it's helping, it's hurting, because now they going back, they checking his email, they checking different things, because once you put it there, it's there.
Yeah.
Right, and it could cause trouble for him, you know.
Now, let me ask you this. If a prostitute invests in her websites, copy editing, professional photos, video, this may signal to a potential customer her quality, education level, or income, and popularity or success in the market. What's your take on that? And is this truly the new age of pimping?
Well, one thing about it is, not only is it the new age of pimping, it's the new age of being deceitful. You know, just like people making false sites up and different things. You can't always judge that book by that cover, you see, because they got so many things photoshopped. The person that posting it ain't even the person that you're going to go to see. So you can't really count on that like that. It's a good lick. It's a good move, too, you know what I mean? But the person that's looking don't always say what you see is what you get, because it ain't necessarily that. Because like I said, with this digital game, you can create